Tourism has long been a mainstay of the Greek economy and, unlike other sectors, has performed well despite 5 years of recession. But the rising political instability and capital controls imposed last week has led some on islands such as this one to worry that tourists are becoming nervous about spending their holidays in a place where there's no money in the cash machines and which faces an uncertain future.
The situation is getting worse in every case. And this island is living its main, it's living from tourism, and the tourist shops are closing, and or even they change places. They're looking where's cheaper rent, or even they stop to pay rent.
Mrs. Brown has run her hotel on the island of Aegina for decades, but today she says she's concerned about the business's continued profitability.
It's a very bad situation, and even when we are not working fully, we have to take less personnel. We cannot afford to pay them, and we cannot afford with a small business.
Αυτά που περνάμε τώρα τα τελευταία 5 χρόνια τώρα κορυφώθηκε το κακό, ας πούμε. Τώρα το θέμα είναι ότι κανείς δεν ξέρει τι θα γίνει. Αυτή η αβεβαιότητα είναι το χειρότερο απ' όλα. Κάθε χρόνο ήταν χειρότερα, αλλά φέτος είναι ακόμα χειρότερα. Γιατί βλέπω και τους τουρίστες και είναι ζορισμένοι. Τα πράγματα τώρα δεν χειροτερεύσανε τώρα. Τα πράγματα εδώ, δηλαδή κάθε χρόνο και χειρότερα. Κάθε χρόνο δηλαδή τι γίνεται. Τώρα απλώς δεν ξέρω τι θα γίνει.
Ferry bookings to Greece's islands are down around a third this year, and Konstantin Mikolos, president of the Greek Chambers of Commerce, says some holidaymakers have already begun changing their plans.
So far there have been minor cancellations of visitors that were scheduled to visit Greece, let's say next week or in the next fortnight. And I don't like it, but I have to understand the line of thought. The implementation of capital controls right at the heart of the tourist season is, I would say, politically criminal.
Many tourists we spoke to today say they prepared for disruption, bringing lots of euros in cash and checking the news from Athens every evening. But if the situation deteriorates further, many may find that their idyllic island holiday experience becomes dramatically more stressful.
We tried to use ATM outside the store and it did not work for us. So there was a line and then everyone scattered.
We went to restaurants every evening, and we tried to pay by card, but it was not possible. But we were prepared from the beginning. We knew we had read in the newspaper and the news back in Sweden before we come here. So we had enough with money, with cash with us.
Every night we'll just keep up on, what's happening and where they are as far as negotiating and what's up with the referendum and everything. So we've been keeping a close eye on it, more out of, I think, curiosity and just kind of to be aware of what's going on. We were waiting for our friend at Parliament yesterday, and we saw a march going on and some of the rallies and things like that. So it's just really good to be aware as a tourist, but personally we're not, we haven't felt afraid or super concerned.
If this is the beginning of the crisis, that is no problem. But if the crisis will go on for a long time, of course we will have to think twice before we went back. But today that is no problem, but we don't know what the future will mean for the island.
Much will depend on Sunday's referendum and whether or not Greece stays within the Eurozone. Until then, the hotels, bars, restaurants and ferry services that rely on the tourist trade can only watch and wait. Henry Foy, Financial Times, Aegina.